Hi guys, in this video I'm going to talk to you about how you are not different. So first of all, I think I'll just talk about a little caveat here. On all my other previous videos I've essentially talked about how everyone's different and therefore training and nutrition should be essentially context dependent and applied and managed to that specific individual. However, when I refer to everybody's the same, nobody's different, I'm referring to basic fundamentals of nutrition. And that basic fundamental is thermodynamics, which essentially means that for an individual to gain weight, to gain body mass, they must be in a net energy surplus. So essentially consuming more calories than you're expending. Conversely, for an individual to lose body fat, they must be in an energy deficit. So consuming less calories than they're burning. This fundamental principle holds true. And if you look at the scientific evidence, there's still not, to my knowledge, one scientific study where an individual has either one, gained weight in an energy deficit, or two, their metabolic rate is slowed down enough to offset the weight loss. So essentially, if they're in a energy deficit, their metabolic rate may drop. However, this drop is not enough for an individual to stop losing weight. Probably one of the best studies to look at, which will probably never be repeated, is the Minnesota semi-starvation. They essentially had people in a confined environment for 6 months, put them in an extreme energy deficit where they're essentially consuming 50% less calories than their typical maintenance calories. These people all lost a tremendous amount of weight, a tremendous amount of body fat, to the point where they're at their ultimate level of leanness, and they're all around like 5% body fat. So just to clarify, not one individual study, which is a controlled study where an individual hasn't lost weight in an energy deficit. This brings me back to the person that says, oh, I can't lose body fat, or that diet didn't work for me, or oh, I barely eat anything, yet I can't lose body fat. I'm not necessarily calling this person a liar, but notoriously people are very bad at actually estimating their actual caloric consumption. In fact, there's even some studies that suggest people are 50% out in terms of less or more than they're actually eating. So that should give you a good indication of, am I actually consuming what I think I am? And that brings me to my next point. I strongly suggest you start actually tracking your food intake. Use a simple application called MyFitnessPal. I wouldn't suggest using the macronutrient calorie targets they give you because they're generic and based on government guidelines, and protein's way too low. However, if you go to my website, I have a free PDF where essentially I teach you how to set up a nutrition plan, so macronutrients and calories. You can then use MyFitnessPal to track the food intake. Just to clarify, these basic fundamentals must be in place. For an individual to gain either body fat or muscle, they must be in an energy surplus. They must be, as Lyle McDonald says, you can't gain muscle out of wishful thinking and thin air. There needs to be an energy surplus in place. Conversely, for fat loss, an energy deficit must be in place. These absolute fundamentals. Now, it's important to note that, don't get me wrong, there's obviously going to be differences between everyone. Some people will have a higher metabolic rate, and it will be a slower process for some individuals, whether that's fat loss for some individuals or even muscle gain for others individuals. So there's always going to be varying degrees of difficulty for certain individuals compared to others. However, that basic law of thermodynamics holds true for everybody. So that's why I come back to the title of this video, Nobody is Different. So I hope you found this useful, and hopefully you can take a lot from this and look at yourself objectively and think, if you're in a dieting phase or you think you're consuming X calories, look at yourself and think, am I actually doing that? Start getting a pen and paper or use the MyFitnessPal app and start tracking it religiously. This is so important. So thank you very much for watching. Please like the video, enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Have a good day. Thank you very much.